Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakadash. I want to give double honor to our apostles and Ellsbury Millstone. Also say shalom to Ada Akim out there, Pictures Truth, in all true sincerity, with the brother Tazwan Kobar from the GMS Miami, the Heralds of Yahushai, 144 camp, back from another video through the Spirit. Before I start this video, I want to touch up on the true names on Heavenly Father, his sons that were Heavenly Father, who they so-called called God. His true name is Yahweh. Which his name means he is, he exists. And the true name of his son, who they even call Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christos in the Spanish, or Jesus Creed in the Haitian Creole, his true name is Yahweh Shai, which his name means he saves, delivers. He's talking about to do according to prophecy. I got another video. Low one is views edifying. To the low one is videos edifying to the whole for elect out there. Know what I entitled the video. It's a matter of spiritual power coming, or spiritual power is coming. Believe it. Okay. Why is it important to speak about the spiritual power? It's because that's how we're going to be protected in the times to come. And spiritual power comes in all forms of ways. Which we already have a form of spiritual power right now, to be able to understand the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai, to be able to have faith and to believe. In the scriptures and the powers and wonders of Yahweh Shema Shai, and to understand who we are and the mysteries and so on beyond. And this is a form of spiritual power, but the Lord is going to increase it in the times to come. Increase it when all hell breaking loose. Increase it when our enemies shall come up against us. Increase us to, for us to be able to be protected and shielded and be able to, eat and live in the times to come. Because scripture talk about great miseries in the future. Also talks about how we're gonna not only be able to protect ourselves, but put down on our enemies. The whole world gonna be able to see these things that the Lord is gonna soon give us the download and increase us in the latter times. Which we are living in the latter times. And we ought to continue speaking about spiritual power, because a lot of other camps they don't tend to touch on this topic. If you see here at GMS, we touch upon spiritual power a lot. It's something that you got to believe. Spiritual power is part of the truth. It's not nothing fictional. This is something that is true. Our forefathers in the past had spiritual powers. Elijah, I was able to cast fire down, and the King Abednego, they had the spirit of having a faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. They was protected, that spiritual power, and so on. David, and then the list goes on, man. There's a bunch of stories. That's why it's great to touch upon the stories. Time from time, because sometimes you may forget about them, or sometimes you might know a part but forget a part. But it's always good to touch back on these stories, because the things written aforetime were for our learning. And these stories keeps us thriving in the sense where it allows us to understand what they had back then. But the Lord said, greater things are we going to do, greater miracles. Yahushua told us himself through the Spirit that we're going to do greater miracles than he did. He was able to feed multiple. He was able to heal. And the list goes on. But low one is views edifying. Listen to some scriptures. Is Isaiah chapter 41, starting verse 10. It says, "Fear not that I am with thee. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, I will help thee, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." We're not supposed to fear. We are in the flesh. The flesh when we try to kick in, but we're supposed to overpower it. With the Spirit. Constantly meditating upon the scriptures, constantly meditate upon the stories, meditate upon the Lord. The Lord pulled you through so far, how much more in the times to come? We're not to be in the spirit of double-minded and, do the Lord got me here, or does he got me, or maybe he does, I don't know. No, the Lord don't like a faint-hearted or a person that's not assured in him. We're supposed to trust in the Lord. It says, "Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded." It says, "They shall be as nothing, Okay, they shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. I'm reading NLT. To see all your enemies, all your angry enemies lie there, confused and humiliated. Anyone who opposes you will die in the coming and come to nothing. Slakia. All right, and that could go into the enemies of our people, and but also to the enemies of these heathen nations, starting with Esau. Esau is our number one enemy. All right, he has beef and strife against, all right, the men of the Lord. All right, he has beef and strife of the nation of Israel. Okay, he has a problem with us. Okay, all right, his agenda is to ultimately, try to wipe us out as a nation. All right, that's their whole agenda. That's why they in cahoots with each other. But soon, eventually, the Lord is going to give us that power to be able to tread down upon our enemies. Okay, it says, "Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. So for I, the Lord, thy power will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not that worm, Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." Who's the ultimate Redeemer? Who's the one that's ultimately going to save us? All right. It's his name, Yahushua. He saves, he delivers. All right, but before even the coming of the chariots and Yahushua cracking the clouds, he's going to have certain increases. All right. He's going to have the spiritual power like we spoke about. We're going to have the angels around about us. All right. He's going to have the chariots. Okay. That's a help. That's forms of help from Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And it says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth." Teeth goes to the power. Teeth, having teeth, that thou shalt thresh thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make them as hills as chaff. Okay, I'm reading NLT. "You will be a new threshing instrument with many sharp teeth. You will tear your enemies apart, making chaff from mountains." But some mountains and hills could go into government at 20 times. Okay, but we're just representing how the Lord is going to give us that increase. All right, the Lord is going to give us power. All right, he's going to give us the powers to soon eventually tear down Esau, all right, and our enemies, all right, to be able to protect ourselves and to even just them, taking them out of power. Okay, and this is something that we've been, wholeheartedly believe it, because you got to be able to understand this. Why is that? Because Esau has armory, all right, full of all types of weapons, heart attack guns, laser beams, laser guns and stuff like that he's able to shoot lasers out of weapons, certain weapons. He has a heart attack gun. I just said that. That thing they use in Venezuela. All right, his blessing is the sword. All right, and the Lord is a person of balance. So how he's going to balance it out, or, hash it out, is through spiritual power. The Lord is going to, give his men spiritual power so they can be able to protect themselves. All right, the Lord is not going to leave us hanging. All right, there's no carnal way we can protect ourselves. All right, you got other people thinking, I'm going to round up on my guns and I'm going to work out best I can. I'm going to do boxing or, this jiu-jitsu, and which is, I don't knock, brothers who do that. They do boxing or jiu-jitsu or get into all these type of martial arts. Yeah, they do it. No problem with doing it. But their mindset is that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to give us the whole protection. He's going to provide for us. All right, he's going to be that shield and buckler. Okay, but you do have carnal-minded people. All right, it's being carnal and leads to death. All right, they trust in they so-called guns and ARs, stockpiling. But Esau could roll down with tanks and all types of automatic shit. All right, that's bigger than what we can imagine. Okay, he having so much weaponry, drones. He could blow up the shit with drones. He got mosquitoes that can, fuck you up and shit like that. All right, it makes sense why the Lord is going to have, his men have power, or have the angels around about them. Okay, that all goes in this bucket of spiritual power. All right, this is Daniel chapter 12. I'm going to grab it real quick. Verse 1, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since then was a nation, even to the same time, to that same time, And at that time, that people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book, the elect. All right, the Lord gonna have his angels around about them. All right, because they've been doing what they had to do, serving Yahweh Shemashai, feeding the sheep, being a servant, showing fervent charity. Okay, being the brother. All right, singing the right song, all in one harmony. Okay, the Lord gonna have the archangel, Michael Allah. Okay, Michael, to be around about them. Okay, why? Because they've been doing what they have to do. Yeah, right, that's how bad, and also that goes into how bad it's gonna be. Okay, scriptures talk about like a time of never before. Psalms 34 verse 7. The angel of the Lord encamp around about them that fear him and delivered them. Okay, those who fear Yahweh Shema, because ultimately, if you fear him wholeheartedly, you're gonna do what's pleasing to him. You're gonna try to offend less. You're gonna try to be the best that you can to your ability. Although we're in the flesh, but we still try to strive to be the best for Yahweh Shemashai's sake. We fear him. We fear about the things that he said within the scripture that's gonna pay out in the near future. We fear